Hello, everybody. So, after trying a pub garden lunch with a good friend yesterday and getting a bit damp, we've retreated inside for this afternoon. So, here's this week's update. One of the things we met as trustees on Friday, and one of the things that we wanted to share with you was about something called the Mission Support Fund. So, after a week where we've been talking about who we are and what we stand for, one of the values, if you look at our value statement, is that we err on the side of generosity. And so the trustees have said, well, we got a lot of unrestricted funds in the last year, which is just fabulous. We want to now give some of that away to help other projects that are around FaithWorks. And we want your help to do that. So you're going to see on the email that I sent out this morning a criteria for application, and the aim here is to give some funds not to current FaithWorks projects, or it certainly mustn't be anything that conflicts with our ethos or operational approach. It can be for new or expanding work that you know of around about. It must be obviously to hit specific outcomes. Over 1,000. Probably not more than 3,000. We're not necessarily going to fund this more than once. It all depends on what funds come in. But we want your ideas as to how we might give to projects, charitable activities around us, who actually there might be a knock-on benefit for some of our clients as well. So if you have a look at that email, we'd really love your ideas, because we want to bless others with the blessing that we have received, if you like. Hope that makes sense to you, and really love your ideas in the next 2 or 3 weeks, if you can send them in to Claire. As I say, I'll send you the email, send you the piece of paper, so you can then respond to that. And actually, the Brand Review first stage was really great this week. There's still an opportunity to contribute. If you didn't get a chance to do that, I'll send you the email of our friends at ARC, who are the people who are helping us with you. Just pop them an email. They'll send you the little set of questions that were there. They stopped it a couple of days earlier so they could find out all the stuff that people were suggesting. But actually, there's still an opportunity to contribute. And what was great was to have key volunteers and some client voices as well in the mix. And I think particularly we'd love to have some more client voices. So if you would be willing maybe to talk to, if you've got, I know, for example, we've got the Street Voices gang in from B Car's angle, or the folk on the recovery day. If you have some folk who maybe you think would be able to input to this, who know a little bit about FaithWorks, then it'd be great to hear from them too. Second session is coming up this week. We're going to build on some of the stuff we talked about last week, and some really helpful message about internal communications, how we make sure everybody's up to date. Love the idea of brand ambassadors, people who could go out and actually speak for who FaithWorks are and what they do. I love the focus, still to have a real focus on the individuals and the people that we work with, and not to try and get carried away with doing much more and bigger places, bigger stuff across a bigger area, but actually maybe to do more with less people. And one of the phrases that really stuck with me was to try and help people to reimagine a fulfilled life. I really like that phrase as well. Which brings us actually on really well to another part of our roadmap. You know, we've got structure, brand, and team resilience. And so one of the things we've been talking about this week is a training program, just something simple like first aid. We want everybody to have a basic level of first aid training. So watch out for something from Claire, where she should be giving an online course. We'd love everybody to get up to speed with that. And in every venue, we want a designated person who does a little bit more, does the one-dayer. Similarly, for mental health first aid, everybody to do at the basic, which is 2 or 3 hours, and then people within each area to a designated person to do the longer course. We'll then obviously follow on with that. There's other training we want to do. For some of you, it may be around naloxone, the drug. There may be some about defibrillator training. So there's other things that will follow on, and maybe I'll learn to say those things by that time as well. The other thing about team resilience, don't forget, Emma and Claire have done a great job of getting the beach hut ready, so please do book in on that. That's as I said last time, that was an opportunity that we have for the rest of the summer. So if you want to use that for a day, for a weekend, or maybe just for a team time, then get in touch with the Beach Hut email, beachhut@faithworkswessex.org.uk, to book in a slot. And when we're talking about team resilience, just a big shout out for Lucy over in the Smile team. She took a whole group of mums bird watching over Easter, had 50 people on that. Well, amazing. Well done, Lucy. And I love a little story of one family who had 3 kids who sometimes have not found it hard to engage in stuff, but they just really got it. They were really engaged with it, and they found they found a nest with some eggs in it, and they said they were going to come back and see whether the eggs had hatched. And suddenly there was a family who sometimes it's really hard to get them away from their screens. They were looking out at nature. They were reimagining a fulfilled life, which is a great example. So Lucy, we salute you, and well done for you and Rachel for all that you're doing over in Smile. And there's that verse just to finish off, which is in Ephesians. We often talk about, the one which says, I've come to give them life and life to the full. Well, there's another verse a bit similar to that in Ephesians, which said, I want you to be filled to the measure with all the fullness of God. So I pray this week you'll be filled up, your bucket will be filled up, and you'll be able to work in the fullness of God. Take care, everybody.